Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits, and today I want to talk a little bit about ZooPark. ZooPark, the hacking group, and ZooPark, the advanced persistent threat app. Okay, so far, as far as I can tell, it looks like ZooPark started out as an app targeting places in the Middle East. These were fake apps. You download these apps and it asks for all kinds of rights. And of course, most people just say yes, you can have whatever rights you want. And these apps were masquerading as news apps. You would download these to get your news, it would ask you for all your information. Of course, once again, people would say okay, and then the ZooPark group would get all of your information. Now, what's really interesting about this is just recently it turns out that ZooPark actually got information from hacker groups that are believed to be working with governments. Now, the only hacker groups I know that work with governments are, I believe Fancy Bear works with the Russian government, and then the Equation Group works with the U.S. government. But this must be a different group that they've targeted. They're not dropping any names. I can't find the name of the group. If anyone knows, please leave it in the description. I'd really appreciate it. Now, it should be said, most of my information of this comes directly from Kaspersky or Vice Motherboard. I gotta say, Kaspersky gets a lot of crazy information that I'm not seeing any other security group bring out. So it's almost good just to stick with them and hear what they're saying. Like I said, some of the malicious ZooPark apps are being distributed from news and political websites, popular places in the Middle East, and they're disguised as legitimate apps with names like Telegram Group and other news groups that you would be familiar with around these areas, among others, recognized and relevant news corporations in the Middle East. It's what they look like. It's almost like a little bit of a bait and switch. Upon successful infection, the malware provides the attacker with contacts, account data, call logs, pictures stored on the SD card, GPS location, SMS messages, installed application details, browser details, key logging, backdoor functionality, silently sending SMSs, silently making calls, execution of shell commands. There must be more of a story to this because it just seems like it couldn't happen that one hacker group could get information from another hacker group using something like this. But man, these things must be so sophisticated. I believe it's Fancy Bear. Their main source of attack is spear phishing, and they are so good at it, they're famous. That just seems to be the way that hacking's going now. It's harder and harder to make viruses or vulnerabilities than it used to be ever before. So almost the only way that you can get this stuff out there is by confusing people, by spear phishing them. It should also be noted that all of the information that was acquired from this came from Android phones. Now, Android phones are so much less secure than Apple's are, unfortunately. I gotta say, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I couldn't live without the both of them. But it's interesting. It's almost an Achilles heel in this situation that hackers were hacked with a hacker's phone, which was also their own phone. Hackers definitely love to have Androids because there's so much you can do with them. You can do way more than you can with an Apple, but man, there's so many doors in those little phones. So ZooPark dropped all of the information that it had for $1,000, and if you're out there and if you know where to go, you can get this information. And if you're one of those people, happy reading, folks. Anyways, that's it from me. I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits. Like and subscribe if you like this stuff. I always love this kind of hacker news stuff. Anyways, have a good one, folks. Catch you later.